Wombat's Burrow. The Whole Truth. Underground Animal Life by D. Phillips. It's a warm summer evening. Hidden in some tall grass is an entrance hole to a burrow. Suddenly, a large hairy face peeks out of the hole. It's a wombat that has been sleeping all day. As night falls, the hungry animal leaves its underground home to search for food. Welcome to a wombat's home. Entrance hole to a burrow. Wombat. Wombat spends more than half of every day sleeping in its burrow. The cute wombat. All about wombats. Wombats are strong, medium-sized animals that look like little bears. An adult wombat is about 3 feet, 1 meter long. 3 feet long, 1 meter long. Wombats live in Australia. They dig their burrows in grassy areas. Yellow means where the wombat lives. That's Australia, where I live. And this is the world map. Well, not all of the world, but it's basically the world map. There are 3 kinds of wombats. There are the common wombat, the southern hairy-nosed wombat, and the northern hairy-nosed wombat. Southern hairy-nosed wombat, northern hairy-nosed wombat, common wombat. I like the common wombats. The southern and northern hairy-nosed ones don't look very good. They look like pigs. I like the common one. Describe what a wombat looks like to someone who has never seen one before. Well, wombats are you can see the picture right here. This is a wombat. Built for digging. Wombats are powerful diggers. Their strong shoulders, large paws, and long claws help them build their burrows. First, the animal digs an entrance hole with its front paws. It pushes the loose soil out of the hole with its back feet. Then, using its front paws, the wombat digs a long main tunnel. Claws. A wombat lives in an area called a home range. A common wombat may dig up to 12 burrows in its home range. It's a lot. A wombat digging. The cutie boy. Try to imagine what the inside of a wombat's burrow looks like. How long do you think the tunnel might be? Do you think the burrow has rooms? A wombat's burrow. The main tunnel in a wombat's burrow can be up to 100 feet long, 3.5 meters long. A wombat digs shorter tunnels that are connected to the main one. At the end of some of the tunnels, a wombat digs rooms. It uses these underground rooms for sleeping. A sleeping wombat. Oh, they're so cute. A wombat burrow may be 10 feet, 3 meters, underground. Some tunnels are so wide that a person could easily crawl through them. Wombat, burrow entrance, main tunnel, rooms for sleeping. 4 rooms in this wombat's house, and there's his main entrance. That's how long it's been. Day and night. The places where wombats live can be very hot in the daytime. So wombats spend the day resting underground where it's cool. When evening comes, the animals leave their burrows to find food. Wombats eat grass, leaves, tree bark, and moss. In the morning, wombats return to one of their burrows to sleep. A wombat leaving its burrow at night. I am watching you. A wombat eating grass. Nom 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 nom. A wombat may walk for more than 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers, each night looking for food. Some animals try to attack and eat wombats. How do you think wombats stay safe from their enemies? I know, I've read this book to you, but I'm not going to tell you because it's on the next page, blah, blah, blah. Escaping from enemies. Animals such as foxes and wild dogs called dingoes hunt and eat wombats. To escape from these enemies, a wombat dives into its burrow. Then it blocks the entrance with its hard, bony bottom. The wombat's behind is so tough that attackers can't bite through it. Hard, bony backside. A wombat diving into its burrow. When a wombat is blocking its tunnel, an enemy may squeeze into the wombat's back. Then the wombat uses its body to crush the enemy against the burrow's roof. Ouch! A dingo. Anyway, female wombats use their burrows for something other than resting and staying safe. What do you think they do inside their burrows? Baby wombats. Wombats usually live alone. However, males and females come together to mate. About 1 month later, a female gives birth to a baby in her burrow. The tiny baby is called a joey and is about the size of a jelly bean. The joey climbs into a pouch. On its mother's belly. Inside the pouch, it drinks milk from her body. Baby wombat. A male and female wombat. So cute together. A joey in its mother's pouch. A newborn wombat has no hair. The tiny baby cannot see or hear because its eyes and ears are not fully grown yet. A joey's life. A joey lives in its mother's pouch for up to 8 months. During this time, the joey's eyes and ears develop and its hair grows. As the little wombat drinks its mother's milk and grows bigger and bigger, finally the joey is ready to leave the pouch. Wombats belong to a group of animals called marsupials. All marsupials give birth to tiny babies that are not fully formed. A baby marsupial finishes growing inside of its mother's pouch instead of inside her body. Mother Wombat. Pouch. Joey. Cute Mother Wombat. Can you think of other marsupials that raise their babies in pouches? Name the animals. The answer is on page 24. All grown up. Once a wombat leaves its mother's pouch, it begins to eat plants. As the joey gets bigger and stronger, it practices digging tunnels. Then at about 8 months old, the joey is ready to leave its mother. At first, it might live alone in one of its mother's burrows. Soon, however, the young wombat will dig an underground home all for itself. A 5-month-old joey. And there's a mama wombat. Mother wombat. 10-month-old joey. Mother wombat. 10-month-old joey. The 10-month-old joeys are so cute. I love 10-month-old joeys. But the 5-month and newborn joeys are actually a bit scary. Wombats can live for about 10 to 15 years in the wild. Wombats in zoos have lived for more than 30 years. Science lab. Wombats leave piles of block-shaped poop or scat outside their burrows and around their home range. This tells other wombats who the home range belongs to. Be a wombat scientist. Imagine you are a scientist who studies wombats. You can find out what a wombat has been doing by looking for its scat. I forgot to read this part. Wombat scat. The wombat has been doing by looking for its scat. Look at the map and try answering these questions. Number 1. Which of its burrow did the wombat recently visit? How can you tell? I think that the wombat has recently visited C and D. Since there is poop around C and D, wombat's home range map. So I think C and D. Number 2, do you think the wombat has been eating at the North Grassland or the South Grassland? Why do you think so? I think the South Grassland because the North Grassland looks like it has more grass and the South Grassland looks like it doesn't have much grass. And the South Grassland is where burrow C and D is. And since the wombat has been around C and D, in my opinion, I think that it had probably been eating around the South Grassland since the burrows are there. What do you think? Number 3. Why do you think the wombat left scat behind a fallen tree? The answers are on page 24. I think he left scat by the fallen tree because he wants to make another burrow. Burrow A, B, C, D, and E. That's why I think. Science words. Burrow, an entrance hole and tunnels dug by an animal to live in. Mate, in order to come together in order to have young. Home range, the area where an animal lives and finds its food. Moss, a fuzzy plant that sometimes covers rocks or trees. Marsupials, a group of animals in which the youngs are raised in pouches on their mother's bellies. Pouch, A pocket-like part of a marsupial's belly used for carrying their young. That's a pouch, moss, a female and male together, what a burrow might look like, a wombat in its home range, and a baby wombat in its mother's belly. That's the end. Also, there are other books done by D. Phillips. Armadillo's Burrow, Groundhog's Burrow, Meerkat's Burrow, Badger's Burrow, Chickmunk's Hole, Prairie Dog's Hideaway, Fox's Den, and this book, Wombat's Burrow. See you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and share with a friend. It's much appreciated, it's free, and it helps out a lot. Bye!